Hi, and welcome to another Mail Day with BeardedTinker. Today we will be having a special, and this one will be Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder and all the stuff needed for this project. So, if you're interested in MMU or multicolor printing, today's video will be for you. We'll start in a couple of seconds. Let's look what we have here. This should be checklist for Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder, 6 colors. We should have easy board. Where is easy board? It's not here, not here. These are the motors. Oh, they even included the printed part, which is not something that I expected. Supports are still here. They should be removed. I have printed this in red, so I'll probably be using my own. But I really didn't expect to see any printed parts in that kit. And by the way, yes, if you buy the kit, you will not receive, or you should not receive, any printed parts. The quality of the print is okay, not perfect. I think that mine in red is better. There is a layer shift here. Yeah. So we have easy boards, or ERCF Easy BRD. This one does have cooler. It needs 2 stepper drivers, and I think they are, yeah, they are here together with coolers. So this is one part. Next thing on the list is NEMA motors, and they should be here. Yep, those are 2 NEMA motors. We have 14 and 17. Oqueda, whatever the company name is. This one has cables that are, I wouldn't say pre-crimped, but are permanently connected to the stepper driver, and this one uses cables that you can detach. Okay, so we have 2 motors. Topro MG90S servo. MG90S servo Tower Pro. And we also have here the TCRT 5000 sensor PCB, and this one should be okay. There are a couple of types of those boards. There is board with off-centered hold and with center hold, and as far as I know, it's recommended to use the one that is off-centered, so this one should be okay. Stepper drivers I've inserted into the box. Omron mouse button is here in the bag, and this one has a lever. You can use both one with the lever or one button without the lever. Nice. And set of Bondtech gears. This should be here, so it's 6 plus 1. So how many colors you have? You should have one more, so 7 kits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have bearings here, rods, M5 threaded rod, 2 pieces, and these here are threaded rods, so 2 of them are here. smooth rods, also 2 pieces. These should be these two here. And this one is the cut shaft. If you look at the profile, one of the sides has been cut, so everything is here. Bearings 5 and 1 are there. So these are the threaded inserts. M5, 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 M5 by 30s are here, M5 by 16, one is here, M5 nuts, 5 pieces, M5 nuts with nylon lining, so it's locked, it's here, M5 washers, 3 pieces, M3 by 8s, SHCS, and M3 by 8s button heads, 5 pieces, M3 by 12s, SH, M16, M3 16 SH, M3 20s SH, M3 40s SH, M3 washers, steel washers. So these are steel washers and these are normal washers. Okay. M2 by 8s. And that's it from fasteners. You also get some spares. Then we have motion. For motion we have Gates belt. So open, this one is open. Then we have pulleys, 3 pieces. Then we have tooth idler, this one here. And then we have one belt, that's the one here. And miscellaneous, we have magnets. It should be 22, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, yeah, 22. Bowden clips, fittings, and drag chain. I'm pretty happy with the kit. Everything looks okay. Let's check the web listing. First package for today is this kit. And please remember, most of the kits for the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder or any project that is very similar or related to Voron usually come without printed parts. If we scroll down, there is, I think, a warning, yes, here, does not include any printed parts. So if you receive parts, that also means that you will have to print some parts. Although for Voron you have to use ABS or ABS Plus. For this project you could probably go with something else such as PLA. But always before you start printing the parts, check the official documentation, and I will be once again leaving a link in the description of the video for the GitHub repository. So let's get back to this kit. If you have watched my stream, I have opened this package and started building this Enraged Rabbit or ERCF machine on my stream. But I did finish it off stream and it's all assembled and working partially. When I say partially, everything is currently working, but I still have to play and calibrate it. And unfortunately, these last couple of weeks, I simply didn't have time. So all is assembled, all is now working, and most of the parts are from this kit. But we will be talking a little bit more about this later when we open some other packages. I ordered the kit from Bizeraf store which I also use to buy stuff for my Warren printer. Some of the partial kits, for example, mechanics, where all stuff that is related to mechanics is in one bag, and it simplifies the sourcing process. So I went with the 6-color version with motor. Versions without motor allow you to get everything except stepper motors, which you can buy either separately or maybe already have them. I did opt up to go with the motor version for only 6 colors. The difference is the number of the modules, so I have support for 6 colors or 6 materials at my system. You can buy kit up to 12. There is no big difference, but the difference is there. For example, the rods are longer, the belts are longer, you receive multiple bags with the collets and things like that. So be careful what you order. I will not probably be using this device often, but when I use, I suspect that I will not be needing more than 3 or 4 colors, so that's why I went with the 6th color version. The price of the kit is €159 for 12 or €135 for the 6-color version with motor. Without motor, it's 125. So for €10 you get the motor. I'm not sure if this is all 3 motors. I think that maybe this is only the servo motor, which is hidden here. You can see the arm here. Okay, so I told you a bunch of stuff, but not the important stuff. How happy I am with the kit. To be honest, I'm very happy, but I did have issue with the board. Unfortunately, since I do not handle my boards as I should, anti-static, grounding and things like that, I'm not 100% sure if the board that I received was damaged, so I had issues with the servo, or was it something during my assembly, soldering, wiring and things like that that broke the board. When I did hook it up the first time, the servo did move, but just a tiny bit, fraction of what it really should move. So it looks like it was working at that time and maybe something was misconfigured. But later on, and due to the debugging and everything, I figured out that I should probably replace this board, so I did order separate board, which you can also buy from this shop, but I didn't. I used the EU shop and replaced the board that you don't see in this image here. All the other parts, as screws, magnets, everything is according to the specs, and I did manage to build the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder, and even with that servo motor issue, which is the issue of the board, which I really cannot pinpoint if this is the seller's problem, the quality of the produced part, my handling, me shortening something out, so I'm really not sure. I was able to get everything working up to that specific issue with the servo. There is a list of items as you've seen in my opening video, and you do receive everything you need to build this one, once again without the printed parts. Would I recommend it? Yeah, definitely I would. I don't still know what I would say about this ERCF Easy board, which I had to buy from another seller, but everything really looked according to the specs and everything really works. Is it worth getting it for €135? Well, you can try and source all the parts yourself, but of course it's much easier to buy pre-packaged kit. Let's check the next item. Let's see what we have here. Bunch of PTFE cable, I think it's 22 and 24 gauge, American wire gauge or whatever it's called. And I think it's 10 meters each. I need this wire for the Voron toolhead. I need to add additional wires for the filament sensor, and this filament sensor is Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder Toolhead filament detection sensor. Yeah, and it managed to tell it. Okay, let's check the web listing. While this is not the type of wire you should need for this kit, for Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder, I did get these wires especially for this project. I had to add additional 3 wires from the toolhead of my printer to the MCU or the board of the printer. And those 3 wires are roughly about 5 meters. So I got 2 spools of 5 meters so I can have a bit of extra.
And by the way, with tool spools that I bought, it was very easy for me to do the wiring, so it's also good to have some wire spare. This is a typical PTFE wire, which is recommended for Voron printers, but I would definitely recommend this wire for any project that you need slippery wire that can bend or that has to bend, that has to have some kind of movement in it without breaking. It's even better than the silicone one. I got tin plated. This is 24 gauge, but I also bought 22 gauge, so I have 5 meters of one and 5 meters of other spool. I have previously also bought this wire from this store, so yeah, I have good opinion on them. Everything I received was according to specs, so if you need PTFE wire, you are good to go here.
Let's look at this package. Oh, I love packages like this. Oh yeah, these are parts for the Toolhead, for the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder. So we have here magnet, steel washer, 2 screws. This is the how it's called, oh my god, sensor, and JST connector. If you are using Galileo, I think you need to use this one, but I will not be using Galileo. I will be using it on a Voron, so I don't need connector like this. And yes, this needs to go into I'm currently printing Clockwork 2 Beta 11 version of the Toolhead that includes slot for this sensor. This sensor has 2 sides. It's Hall effect sensor, yeah. So this sensor has 2 sides. Magnet, screws, everything is here. We'll see. I should have ordered more of those because they also sometimes arrive dead on arrival. Yeah, let's check the web listing.
This is one additional item or items that are needed for the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder. So what this is? 2 screws, magnet, shim, sensor and the connector. What is this item? This item is package of all the items you will need to create a toolhead sensor for your 3D printer. And what this toolhead sensor is? It is a sensor that is located below the extruder motor and it detects if the filament is present or not. So it's a filament detection system embedded inside the toolhead, but after extruder. And it helps Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder to detect if the filament has reached the extruder or not. There are a lot of supported toolheads, but I myself am using the Stealth Burner or Clockwork 2 toolhead, and my beta or unsupported version of Stealth Burner or Clockwork 2 had to have hacked version on where you install this sensor. And I did manage and everything is working correctly. If I insert the filament in the toolhead, it detects it. And if the filament is out, it also detects run out of the filament. Not all parts here are needed for all toolheads. For example, for me, I only needed the magnet, this metallic shim, and this sensor here. You have to add 3 wires. This is ground, signal, and the voltage. I think it's 5 volts. And then you have to connect it to your MCU. Yes, of course, you can source all those parts separately, but I was too lazy to order sensor from one shop, spacer from the other shop, and the magnet from the third shop, so I decided to buy a whole kit. For the price of €6.89, it's a bit steep for all those components since you can probably get this sensor for less than €1. But on the other hand, convenience of ordering everything in one bag was something that made me go this way. Once again, this was bought from Bizerov store, and most of the purchases I made there were really okay. Let's check the next item.
Let's look at this package. Okay, 245. I think I've ordered these for the filament boxes for the ERCF or Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder. I think the boxes are called Enraged Rabbit Patch something. Can't remember what the full name is. I'm planning on having 3 colors for now, or maybe 4. I think 3 will be enough, but I have here 5 of those. I will be posting a link in the description of the video. What I will be building, it's a filament box made out of IKEA boxes. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so these, once again, I think 5 of each in the bag will be used for the Enraged Rabbit patch or something. So filament box for the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder. As I think I'll be using for now at least 3 boxes, so 3 colors, but I have here everything for 5, maybe even as a spare ones, and I still need a couple of more parts, screws. I have to do a lot of printing, and they will go together with these to create a filament box that has winding spool, which means that if filament is retracted, that it doesn't get tangled inside the spool or box. So yeah, that's why I needed all those parts here.
Next couple of parts are related to Carrot Patch, and although I am building Carrot Patch, I have decided that for my build I will go with the user mod. If we go to the user mods, find this IKEA dry box, you see what I'm building. So this is a box which will inside have spool of the filament. It will also have this part here, which is used as a buffer for the filament. And it also has inside this silica gel to keep everything at nice humidity level. So I am doing a little bit different version of the Carrot Patch for this system, and why Carrot Patch is needed, it's not needed to hold your spools, it is needed to buffer the filament, because there are fast pulls and pushes of the filament and it can get tangled without this buffer system. And when I was looking on what I will do in my case for 3 filaments that I currently plan on using all the time, I decided for this. And for that, we needed a couple of parts. Most of the parts, of course, are printed, but there are some parts that you need to buy. For example, these fittings, and I bought 5 of them, are used to guide the filament or to insert the PTFE tube in them to allow better movement of the filament. So I bought a package of 5 as I need only 3 of them. This was bought from Keypank official store, and a price for 5 of them was around €3 including the shipping. But besides that, I also bought these clips, and if I'm not mistaken, I bought 6 of them, which is something that I could have probably printed myself, but yeah, when I was buying all the parts, I also bought this. For less than €2 with the shipping, I received 6 pieces of these Collet Clips. This was bought from D-Force Triangle Lab store, which is also the store that I used previously to buy some 3D printer parts. As you can see, it is used to keep this collet locked. And the last part for the kit, for the Carrot Patch kit that I bought, is this here. It's €5.63 with the 76 cents shipping, so a little bit over €6 for 5 pieces of those. And you need those once again for the Carrot Patch. The same ones that are here are also embedded inside the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder, and if you buy kit, you will receive those in the kit. But of course, the kit will contain the exact number what you need to build ERCF, so you will need extra for this. This was once again bought from D-Force Triangle Lab store, and as I mentioned, I did previously shop with them.
Let's check this package. Thank you card by Lab 4450, and nice printed case with boards. Lab 4450, so he is building his own board out of open source project files. There is a big cooler, and this looks like original. Everything looks as it should be, so the idea is that I should replace this board or replace this board here that has issues with the servo and signal wire with this new one here, and hopefully everything will work. Let's check the web listing.
I did replace my Easy board or Easy BRD version 1.1. The reason why I replaced it was the issues with the signal wire or the signal itself on the board for the servo motor. While I was looking for various options, I decided to try and find shop in Europe that is selling it because I simply didn't want to wait 2 or maybe 3 weeks, and mind you, most of the packages previously mentioned arrived in less than 2 weeks, but still I wanted something faster. And also, I wanted to have somebody here in EU that could potentially have better quality of the product than the ones I ordered from AliExpress. Why? I wasn't sure if the first one that failed was the problem, my problem or issue that I created on it, or was the assembly or manufacturing process in China. And on the Voron Discord server, I searched for a shop or seller in EU, and I've noticed this one shop. It's called Lab 4450. It's located in Portugal, and they are selling various parts needed for 3D printers. Most are related to the Vorons, but some parts can be used on other printers too. So they have this ERCF Electronics kit, and this is the kit that I ordered. And I really do have to thank the owner of the store. Why? I approached him and asked if he can send me the board only. So this is just this easy board without any extras or belts. There are other options that include the filament detection or the movement of filament sensor with the hark board that goes on a tool head. There are a lot of options, but I just needed the board itself. And he created listing and I bought the board for 25 euros plus shipping. I'm really happy with it. As I said, it did arrive, I did install it. It is already pre-flashed, so the firmware is already on the board. This is one step that you do not have to do. It's not that hard, you can do it probably in 5 to 10 minutes. But now you don't have to do it because the board itself already has the latest firmware. So I went for this board here. This is the listing of all the items that you can get in the kit if you buy the full kit, but as I said, I only bought this ERCF board. And by the way, this shop does sell other parts. Parts for Voron 2.4 Trident, Switchwire, Voron 0.1, Redrig V-Core, and also some essential things such as ADXL sensors, heaters, thermistors, fans, lubricants, which I really like because when I needed myself some lubricants, I had to buy big box, which I really do not need, and it will probably get spoiled before I will use it. This is also nicely packed because you have syringe with different type of needles, and if you have to lubricate linear rails, I would definitely recommend to go with something like this. Let's check the last item.
Let's look at this package from 3D Extra Time, Belgium. Destel. So this is a Savox lock protection, Savox servo motor. I bought it just in case, so I have a spare one for the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder, because I was thinking that the one I had was dead. Then I ordered Tower Pro, the model that normally goes with the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder, and didn't work. Later on I figured that probably the board died, but in the meantime I also ordered this one, and it took a bit longer for this to arrive. I think it took about 10 days for this servo to arrive. You get multiple types of the arms, of course the screws that are used to both screw this in and also screw the arm, but for the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder you do not need those arms. You have to print one piece and then use that piece, and it goes like this, and this arm then presses on the selector. Okay, let's check the web listing.
I didn't need this servo motor, but as I mentioned previously, I had problem with my servo motor on the ERCF and I didn't know if it was maybe issue due to the servo. So I decided to buy this servo, which is higher quality, premium one. It's not first servo that is recommended when building ERCF, but it is also recommended if you want to upgrade it, if my current servo ever fails. And also the second servo, which I also got locally here from the Tower Pro fails, then I will have this better one. It does require some changes in the configuration, but at least I now have two spares, which I never had probably for anything. This shop from Belgium is mostly selling stuff related to the models. And you can buy batteries, brushless motors, adapters, chargers, etc. And it's always fun to use one item that was intended probably to be embedded inside the airplane for 3D printing or some other use. And this is it for today's Mail Day with BeardedTinker special edition Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder and related stuff. Before we wrap up this video, I really would like to thank everybody who is supporting me on the YouTube channel and has become YouTube channel member. Thank you all for all of your support. And also thanks to everybody who watched, liked or subscribed to my channel. If you too want to support the channel, you can do so by clicking the join button down below. I hope that you did enjoy this video, and if you did enjoy, please give me a like because it not just means a lot to me, but it also helps with the YouTube algorithms. If you have any kind of a comment, question or suggestion, you can always leave the comment down in a comment section below, or even better, go to the Discord server and the link to Discord server is in the video description. If you still haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified on the future video updates and streams. And I'll be seeing you next time. Until then, bye bye and have fun.